Hi, everybody. It's me, Alan. How you doing today?
Hey everyone, welcome back.
Been out for a little bit of time. Life things happened. Had to say goodbye to a friend. Um, and ah, and she meant a lot to everybody, especially in the gaming community of the Pinnacle Entertainment Group, as well as having uh, televised arrangements being done by our family. But I'm talking about my friend Jody Black, which, wow, was she a bright light to everyone, as well as, uh, uh, I would say, the decision maker when it came to serious things concerning business, when it came to concerning family, when it came to establishing friends. She's the one who set the schedules for everybody on those levels, and I'm going to miss her. And her service was yesterday. Of course, I wasn't able to attend. It was going to be in North Carolina, but she was given a well-off send-off. There's a video present for it. You can go to the Pinnacle Entertainment Group official page, or Savage World's official page, to get what information you can. I don't have any of the information on right now because I've been scatterbrained since all these things have been happening with people that I care about. Ah, but other than that, I also made the mistake of taking a look into Paizo's spring sale, and my subconscious mind said, "No, no, oh crap, there he goes. I'm in a rabbit hole. I'm, I'm, I'm looking up all these things because I keep asking myself, what happened to this particular character? What's going on with that design? Oh, several hours later, $100 later, I ended up with more stuff, and my bookshelf is overflowing right now. So I'm going to talk a little bit about Paizo stuff, and once again, hats off on the immersion game. Uh, Aaron, what's up?
So, since the last time we have spoken on here, I made mention that I was getting ready for my wife's surgery,
Mhm.
um, which, for anyone wondering, that went well
Good.
in the aspect of what we wanted it to do. Wanted it to do. It did not go well in another aspect. Since
Oh,
they had to have a camera in there to fix the tendons, just clean them up a little bit. He
mhm.
decided to take a deeper look. Yeah, right underneath the tendons was a torn ligament. So yeah, there's more damage. And
Uh,
sadly, like when we were waiting for my wife to go back, I could overhear other patients. He was booked throughout the day. Like the second he was done with her, he got a small break and then went right to the next surgery. Small break. Like there were three other patients in prep waiting for their turns. So we go back on what day is that? Wednesday, I believe. Yes, Wednesday this week to have the stitches removed and schedule the next surgery. And workers' comp has tried to cut us off. So the hearing to get that
oh,
back up and running is tomorrow, I think. It's either
oh,
tomorrow or Tuesday. I can't remember now. That was fun, but worked on a ton of scripts. And when the wife was up and ready, we discussed future videos and things for 63rd Legion Gaming. Went over a bunch of new characters for um, her to do, including Sailor Moon and a bunch of other. Like, I was going through some of her characters that she really wanted, and I'm like, a couple of these are really scary. Like, they're scary characters. But that being said, my wife loves horror and all that, so I understand where some of these come from. We're also going to be preparing. We're going to be doing a let's play because we both love video games and we want to do something
Hmm.
together. So we're going to be diving back into Minecraft, which I haven't played Minecraft in about a year because I've been too busy. But we're diving into that, but we're setting it so the sun never rises. And if you play Minecraft, you know the sun's the only thing keeping the monsters away.
Yeah,
So there's
nice.
going to be constant monsters, and after day 5, oh yeah, that's where there are these creatures. I can't remember, phantoms. They can fly. The only way to keep them back is to sleep every 5 days. But because it's going to be night, we're not going to be able to sleep. They are going to be out all the time. And you also need light to keep things from spawning. You need light to grow crops. But that being
Right.
said, I have actually we've done this before where we played a type of Minecraft game called You're Dead, You're Dead, meaning if you die, you're out of the game. And that was what we did. We had to survive 30 days with only nighttime in Minecraft. I made it to day 15 before I got stupid. Uh, I can hear my partner laughing. Yes, I made a rookie mistake. I went outside. I'm like, I gotta get something. I kept getting hit by skeletons with arrows, and I'm like, I can make it. I can make it. Phantom swooped down and killed me. I made it to the 15th day. And then on the final day, we all came back. We didn't make it all 30 days. I think they made it to like 20.
Right.
Um, and my wife activated creative mode, which meant I could do anything I wanted. I laid down about 100 blocks of TNT, ignited them all, and crashed the server.
Oh,
It destroyed a giant area, and everyone's like, "I'm lagging."
I'm
It could not
lagging.
catch up.
That was you.
They knew it was going to happen. They're like, "Do it, do it." And yeah, I crashed it.
That is impressive. That is very impressive.
But yeah, so we're gonna be doing that. We also got some we're
Oh,
also gonna do some one shots for like D&D and Labyrinth the adventure game.
okay.
Using sidekick rules for the D&D game. So that way it can just be one player. Just do a quick little adventure, just something for fun. And
Right.
like I have prepped I did like 13 over the last week. I did 13 scripts for Legion builds. Got a lot of fun ones, including I can't wait. Um, by the time this episode comes out, it's already going to be live, so go check it out. King Ghidorah.
King Ghidorah.
Yes, he is the last big classic Godzilla monster I have planned. Um, Monsterverse, of course, because God, Toho, don't ever put something up there. Like they will hunt you down. I did what was it? Millennium era Mecha Godzilla build.
Right.
In all honesty, they're all the same. There's no difference between the Mecha Godzillas, excluding their origin story. Yeah, they I couldn't put it up. It had to be delisted before it even premiered.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I did all my Godzilla videos are Millennium era. But that being said, Millennium era Ghidorah. Oh wow, he freaking scary in his abilities. So I just actually right before we started recording this, I finished rendering the video.
Okay, my man.
Yeah. Had a lot going on this weekend. The food truck festival was going on.
Ooh,
So we
I
went to
missed that.
that and then we went to a bike trail and just walked around for a bit. So yeah, Ghidorah has been a long work project today. But yeah, so Ghidorah's coming out. Did a bunch of other fun scripts. Did a bunch of fun scripts for my wife's videos, and planned out a bunch more. So we're going in. Plus, we'll talk about it more later, because that's what I want to talk about. Origins is the countdown to Origins has begun. So I am in my final preps. I have now chosen the pre-made characters of who's going to be playable, which I'll talk about that when it's time.
Okay. Uh, you're printing up minis?
Yes, I have not started yet because of everything. Also, oh boy, my job busy season starts this weekend. Like the graduation, I work at a university.
Yes.
Graduation is this Saturday coming up, and that is my busy season. I will not
Okay.
get out of busy season until October, so we're prepping for that as well.
Ooh.
But
How? Wh-
sometime this week, I'm actually going to go through all of my printed files and locate every single one of these and print them out. Or I think I have all of them. I might not have the squats. I'd have to look at my stuff.
Memories, memories.
So yeah, I'm getting
Squats.
ready for that and getting ready for Origin. So
Okay. Yep. Origins journey. Right now, we're just starting to communicate with the people that get it, with the organizers. They're getting back to us a little bit at a time. Uh, with as many hours as being put into the event, I'm trying to get all the judges parking passes so you don't have to pay for parking when you go to the convention center. So that'll be a bill taking off the list. You know, I mean, it's enough that you're paying for that much gasoline. Let's go ahead and see if we can alleviate some of that cost without having to pay. Uh, I don't know what it is, $27 for an entire day of parking. And if you're
it really
planning on
depends
going for
on
several
what
days,
parking garage you get.
yeah, well, we're going to get that to zero if possible.
Mm.
So they're very amenable to the parking pass. I had a choice between do we want do we want uh, gift cards for convention food? That food is horrible. No. Do we want to pay for 1/4 of a hotel room? No. Parking pass? Yeah, we're local. Yeah, yeah. Parking pass sounds good. But the main vendors will still be there. Uh, hopefully, I'll possibly be able to sit in the same room with Studio Two Publishing on top of the things I'm giving out during my games. They're possibly talking about handing over a discount. So, uh, so feeling pretty good about that. Everything is slowly coming together. Eric Mann, he's going to be doing painting classes. So there's going to be 2 classes on Thursday for basic painting techniques, in which he's going to be using what he's called a buff wizard, which basically he's going to teach how various colors go over various fabrics, as well as skin, beard, all of that, beginning end of a tiny mini. Uh, his next set of classes, which is on Friday, is going to be going over skin tones. He's got 2 classes of that, 10 people each. And in all these classes, you get to take home your mini as well as learn the techniques. But he's going over skin tones, and he's going to be using an Avatars of War barbarian, in which they do a fantastic job with human anatomy, giving you muscles where they're supposed to be, but they give you that great classic Conan Frazetta look. So I that's going to be an absolute pleasure. And the last class, which he's doing on Saturday, is a 6-hour uh, monster masterclass painting class, in which everybody will receive a 6-inch tall beholder complete with stand. And you're going to take the monster from beginning to end, weathering, shading, painting, special techniques and abilities, all available on that Saturday in that class. You get to take home the mini. Well, I don't know if I can call it mini. It's a freaking statue.
I was about to say 6 inches. Not actually giant by comparison to some of the minis we have, but it's a beholder. So, yeah, it's not supposed to be that big. That's a statue at that point.
Yep, I believe, I hope they show up on the picture here. Let's jump this up. It's going to be this type of model.
Oh yeah,
And this is big. This is my hand.
yeah.
This is the model. So you're looking at that. I'll have pictures up of the barbarian and muscle mage later on. But the way Aaron teaches the class is that he, uh, Aaron needs 12 models if he's doing a single model run of a figure. The first model is for him to do the practice test piece on. The second model is for him to go step by step through with the class on what he's doing on the model and basically to see if you can get it. And if you're not at that point, he will help you get through it. 6 hours is a lot of time, but believe me, painting some of these things can take up to 20 hours, depending on what you're doing. Is it going to show non-metallic metal? No, he's not doing that. Non-metallic metal, it looks awesome when you do it. But I just had a friend who just finished a model and it took him collectively 25 hours to get it done. Yeah, I'm gonna throw that thing up here. Dan Calironi, he I'm not gonna show you every picture he sent me. No, that's too long. But the end result, but the end result is well worth the time. So if you ever get a chance to take an accelerated painting class at either Adepticon, Origins, Gen Con, get in on it. It's a skill you learn, and it'll help with your immersion of your hobby.
It
I'm not
can
going to do
really help.
non-metallic metal ever. I am not spending 25 hours on one model. Yeah, it's going to end up in several unrepairable pieces if once it gets to hour 10. I bet you anything. Tolerance. But yeah, Origins Game Fair is coming up, and hopefully might see some of you there. Yo, come find me. You might get a soda out of it, or maybe a mini. Come see me. So, Aaron, what's the game that you're doing once again for Origins?
So, my game that I am doing for Origins is inspired by the video game Dark Tide, and it is around the my personal module that I created for Dungeons and Dragons 2024 for Warhammer 40K. And I spent weeks working on this module. I'm still working on it because I'm always refining things. It's one of my bad suits. I can't stop refining. Um,
Perfectionists never think it's done.
yeah.
That's
Well,
that's
I
the
just
issue.
real most of it's done. What I realized is I made weapon profiles for all chain weapons, which yeah, okay, that's understandable, like chainsaw, chain axe.
Right, right.
But when I went to do the power weapons, I just decided, why make every power weapon profile? Just make a weapon upgrade, kind of like magical item, where this is power weapon can only be used on broadsword, or no, great sword, great axe, that type of
Hmm.
stuff. Here are the rules that are added to make it a power weapon. I'm like, all right, with the exception of the eviscerator and the great cleaver, why didn't I just do that for all the other chain weapons? Why did I have to do chain axe, chain sword, chain glaive, chain short blade? Like, what did I call? There's a short blade that's like the size of a short sword. That's a chain weapon. I'm like, why did I do that?
I can tell you why. Because you wanted it right. You wanted it represented correctly.
Yeah.
Uh,
Dude,
and
I spent like a day just researching bolt guns just so I could give the bolt gun I had in there the proper name, because it's a human bolter, not a transhuman bolter, which that is a particular model of bolt gun.
yes,
Because I do not have Space Marines, I feel um, the power scaling for a normal human would be different from a power scaling. We saw this before in the games Only War, Dark Heresy, um, Death
Inquisitor.
Watch, that type of stuff, where it's the same game but the power scale is different because it's
Right.
who you're playing. I didn't want to do that, and I wanted to give, like, I love Space Marines, I really do, but I wanted to give other people. So I do have beastmen, I do have squats, I do have ratlings, um, I have navigators, I have psychers. Though to be a when I played the first game, I'm like, so any spellcasting class officially is a psyker, but a psyker lineage is a different type. These are people who are born with innate abilities being a psyker. You don't actually need to go into a psyker class or subclass. If you are a psyker, you can just have these innate abilities, and you don't need to have the lineage to become a psyker.
Right.
But yeah, we played a game. Everyone really liked it, though the one thing is several people wanted to play in our beaties, Beastmen. To which I'm like, oh, it's a good idea. It really is, but that's a bullet to the head the second you show up. Don't make me kill you.
I'm reporting for duty. Nope. Ow.
Yeah, I had
Or
to
excuse me.
explain to them because for in this I wrote down brief summaries of everything, like what is Adeptus Arbites? What is the Commissars? Where do they come from? Like the orphanage program that is only for normal humans who their families are now dead in service to the Imperium, that type of thing. So
The
they had
store
all
president.
of those little tidbits so that way if you don't know 40K, it's in there to help you understand some things. I spent time creating the Imperial Guard primer. Like it is the primer, the handbook for all Imperial Guardsmen. It's an item that can help you with certain skill checks a couple times a day. Um, the Lex Imperialis, the Book of Law, is actually an item in this game that can do certain things. But yeah, so I went through, I explain things in it to people. I tell them how you can achieve this. When I got to Adeptus Mechanicus, and I'm going a little too far in, I'm already going to tell you this for Origins, no Psyker subclasses. For no other reason other than the fact that that goes into a whole other can of worms, because I added Perils of the Warp. All psychic abilities, you cast it, and if it's a cantrip, you're fine. But any first level or higher, you have to roll a Perils of the Warp check. And if you fail the check, um, you have to go to the tables, plural, because in D&D there are multiple ways of casting spells: intelligence,
Right.
charisma, and wisdom. How you
Right.
cast those spells determines how much of Perils of the Warp you have. Wisdom is the smallest, intelligence is second, is the middle one, but the biggest one is charisma based because that's all force of will and all of that. For you who played Dark Heresy and whatnot, no, you don't die on my Perils of the Warp. That being said, you can get a mutation, and if you get 5 mutations, you're now a chaos spawn. I went in depth for this. Um,
So is it possible to get an eye on at the bottom of your spinal column?
it's possible to get that actually. I have a table
Yes.
for mutations. All the mutations have a benefit and a side effect. Like tentacles, your arm can turn into a tentacle. Well, you have better grappling now.
Right.
Unfortunately, you can't grip things with it. You also can't use hand gestures with it.
Oh, you can use
Um,
one.
if you get like you could grow tusks and fangs, so now you can make unarmed strikes with them. But your mouth is very hard to talk with now, so
Oh,
casting verbal components and spells won't work. But yeah, if you get 5 mutations, you're now a chaos spawn, and you're out of the game. Well, your character's out of the game, I should say. But so we're using this module because it is a one shot and it's not going to be a campaign or anything. I decided to base it on Dark Tide. And if you haven't played Dark Tide, check it out. I love Dark Tide. I love Vermintide. My computer does not like Dark Tide. Uh,
Oh,
so I can't really play it that much. My computer actually needs updated. Eventually, we'll get the update, and then I'm back to Dark Tide.
okay.
So for you who don't know what it is, you are in part of an Inquisitor's warband, and it is a horde fighting game. So this is going to be a horde fighting D&D game with some role playing added in. Um, if you know anything about the Inquisition, they're not very talkative even to their own people. And depending on what Ordo you belong to, you're going to be even less talkative. I'll give you guys this. The Warband doesn't know what Ordo they work for. Like the Inquisitor Dusk, she keeps things very tight. They have a mission to acquire a artifact within a space hulk, and there is a time limit. Basically, I'll give you guys the rundown of the story. A space hulk appeared about a week ago, and currently, several different factions are going in. There's a bunch of different ships that have merged together, merged with an asteroid. Uh, Adeptus Mechanicus is there, a rogue trader is there, but your Inquisitor is very much focused on one of those vessels. Been trying to discover the location of the artifact because some of the ship has merged into the asteroid and is now gone. Other parts of the ship now are at bad angles. They have just warped, so now they're at right angles and whatnot. Can't go in those. But the artifact has been located. And now the team has to go in to get it out before effectively the Inquisitor is going to cast Exterminatus on that vessel.
Yeah.
So right there, you don't know what order you belong to, and evidently the Inquisitor doesn't want anyone to know the Ordo is even there. So it is get in, locate the item. You don't know what the item is. Plus, depending on what characters are taken, that can lead to routes, different routes. I am going to, if you know me playing 40K, I am someone who, if you let me set up the table, I hope you don't have a lot of tanks. I love tight corners. I love like down and dirty street fighting. Like
Uh,
I try and make an actual cityscape. You're going to be able to
okay.
have a tank because there are roads, but so for
All
this,
right.
I am using Tenfold Dungeon. I have a box set, and
Yes.
if you look at Tenfold Dungeon, you'll probably think, "Oh, this is going to be simple. It's just going to be laid out like that." No, you can make levels with this. I am going to be running some configuration experiments soon to figure out
Okay.
how I want it to look. So you're going to have to navigate a lot of different rooms, or maybe you'll find the proper path to get to it. But that's going to be up to what characters. And if you're interested in what characters I am taking, pre-made characters will be able to be chosen for Adeptus Mechanicus Adept, a Death Cult Assassin, a Hive Ganger, an Adeptus Arbites, a Tempistus Scion, a Rattling Sniper, a Ministratum Priest, and a Sororitas. I know I have most of these from Raging Heroes. I'm not sure I got the Rattling Sniper. I know they made one, but I have to check if I have it. If not, I got to
That
find a
is
Rattling
sweet.
Sniper. I'll find it.
Nice.
But I will say this: I have decided for this, I'm not going to go with cultists, I'm not going to go with orcs, and I'm not going to go with gene stealers, which is things you think you would find in a space Hulk. I have chosen some warp-born entities that are never really presented in 40K because they don't belong to a faction or anything, but they're in the lore. And that is what the team is going to have to be cutting through. Um, but then with the artifact, there's a little bit of a mystery that if the party wants to try and start figuring things out, they might be a little curious about what the Inquisitor's up to. But I won't give away what it is or any of the story. But yeah, that is it. So it is a knuckle fighting, get in there, hope you have enough ammunition. If not, switch to weapons and get bloody. All the while trying to figure out what the hell is actually going on. And I evidently read this wrong. Alan corrected me before the show. I have sold out for Thursday. I'm doing Thursday and Saturday. I thought I sold out for Saturday and not sold out for Thursday. No, it's I sold out for Thursday and still have seats for Saturday. But that being said, we are how many weeks away? It's plenty of time.
Yep, we're not at the 30-day mark yet.
Yeah, we got about 5 weeks. So
Yep, about 5 weeks because it's going to be, it starts, let's see, the 19th is Friday, 18th. So we got the 17th, 17th of June, Wednesday, day one.
so
Thursday, you're at a table taking people through a fantasy realm that came out of your diseased mind.
yep. Yeah, so coming up, I spent Friday, yeah, it was Friday, going over this list of 8 characters for the 6 players. It was not 8 characters for a while. It was actually like, I think I got to 14 characters. And I'm like, no, that's too many. I want my
Ooh,
players to have some choices, but not that many choices. I
okay,
dropped what did I drop? I dropped an actual assassin from the Assassinorum. That was part of there. There was a crusader, a psyker, a witch. If you don't know
okay,
what I mean by a witch is an unsanctioned psyker, so it's a lot more chaotic
right.
versus the actual psyker. Um, and if you're curious about like if there's no psychic abilities, I'm guessing there's no healers. Wrong. Because Adeptus Mechanicus have a rule in my module that negates perils of the warp because it's not psychic based, it's tech based. So
Okay,
the Adeptus Mechanicus is going to be basically the only one that has magic, but it's all tech based abilities. So,
sweet,
mm-hmm.
very sweet. Ah,
Yeah, I had to do that because when I was researching, I realized Adeptus Mechanicus can't have psychers. Like, they can never have psychers. That has been removed from them. They've lost that ability.
oh yeah, not that I got enough messing with the arcane machines,
Yeah.
and their minds have to be a certain way to work with those things. Ah, so my origins game. My first game is called A Tale of Seven Dwarves to Protect a Village. So what I've done is that I have moved. Well, see if this tale sounds familiar. There was the halfling town of Harveston, and it had a garrison which contained constables from the two nearest kingdoms in which they had trade with, and also they were part of a stop on any caravanners coming through. Complete halfling village, all of this. Well, a war broke out between those two kingdoms. So the garrison, of course, was emptied, leaving this town of halflings uh, undefended. Starting in spring, Null raiders started attacking the town. So far, it happened all throughout the summer. It's happening through autumn, and winter's coming, and these guys are possibly to the point of extinction because the gnolls have carried away people, the gnolls have carried away their substances, their substance, uh, followed their fields. They're living barely off the land. Now these are a bunch of halflings, so they eat, and this is an issue for them. So one of the halflings, the wise man, too old to fight, goes out to find someone to help defend this town, and they come across these 7 dwarf rangers, who the player's characters will be playing, that will come and assist in fighting off the Gnoll Raiders. So, yes, I have ripped this off from Kurosawa.
The second you said it was based on something, I instantly went, "What? It's not based on 7 Dwarf? Never mind." I knew what it was.
You knew what it was? Yes, yes. Now, what makes the Seven Dwarfs campaign interesting is that everybody's playing a dwarf. The dwarfs are based on the Snow White tale. Now, if you've never heard me tell this before, the tale of Snow White was told by a 15, 16-year-old girl. Okay? And it spread, and her tale spread to the human populace when basically they went full bore with it. The dwarves are nothing like the 16-year-old described. But this helped with human dwarf relations and also helped set up a bunch of mining contracts in the kingdom which this woman lives. So the Rangers, in which the player, I have six people playing the Rangers, consist of, let's get the names here, Alma Finn's daughter. Her code name is Sleepy, or excuse me, her her code name is Sleepy. She's the watchmaster. That is basically when it comes to setting up the watch when they go to sleep and setting up patrols. She's in charge of that. Sleepy is our code name. Then we have Broder Mountainheart. He's in charge of procurement and communications, with setting up contracts with potential people who may want the ranger team to assist. He has the code name Hap, in which that is happy. Then we're going to go ahead and bring up Gretel Holdsdaughter. She is intel, and also she deals with identifying most supernatural things or any type of animal you have to deal with. Her code name is Dopey. Then we have Halfdan Diamond Eyes. He's the main tracker, and his code name is Sniffer. So basically, we've got Sneeze. That's basically supposed to represent Sneeze. Then we have Hold Olafson. He's the skirmish leader. Basically, he takes out the sub team of the 2 other dwarves that go into hand to hand and puts out the assault plan. He's basically the grill sergeant, or codename Grump. So he is grumpy. And then we have, last but not least, this is 6 of the dwarves, Sigurd Frigson. He is basically the main point leader of the dwarves. He goes in and he normally leads the attack. He's the point man, and basically he's bashful, which doesn't mean he's shy. It means he's going to hit something hard. Then we have last the team leader, who basically organizes the team, determines who's getting promotions, who's getting moved out, who's going to be moved on. That's going to be Doc. Well, this is a continuation from last year's Origins, in which Doc had died. So they have an interim team leader playing Doc. This is going to be Harsk, who is basically based on the Ranger character from Pathfinder. Had a nice turnout last year for the Seven Doors campaign. People seem to enjoy it. The guys in my games I don't say no if you want to try anything, but there's always cause and effect. So if you go a murder hoboing without a care in the world, believe me, I will make sure the environment will correct you. And but I don't say no to it's like, would I be allowed to do this? Sure, go ahead and roll. Good luck. But that's what makes the campaign together. Also in this game, also in this at this game, all my players will be receiving a custom miniature that doesn't have anything to do with the game that I'm running. It's basically they get to contact me and say, "Hey, can you bring me a human swashbuckler as my custom miniature?" Sure, you get that. You take that home. They also get hold. They also get a hold of the Savage Worlds Players Book, with $20 value. You get that just for coming and playing. You get a set of dice. Each of them will get a set of dice for Savage Worlds. And they'll also get a custom made conviction coin, as well as a soft drink of their choice. So basically, here's my ethos here. If you are paying to play a game, I'm going to make this as comfortable as possible for you. I'm going to make it as interesting as I can for you. I'm going to give you a good game. I'm also going to give you something to walk away with. Okay, you don't leave my games empty-handed, and that's the same thing I'll be doing for uh, Clone Trooper 3, a tale among the stars, Prison Break. So, oh yeah, it's going to be 6 characters. It's going to be an a now a Jedi Knight. When we first started, this was going to be Jedi. It was a Jedi Padawan. She's a full knight now because time has passed since Order 66 went out, as well as it also has a Jawa engineer with gigantism. So people find that interesting. And it also has 4 clone troopers that have had their chip removed, which are specialists, which you have a heavy gunner, in which you also have a tracker, a point man, and you also have demolitions. So you get to play these guys in the game. They find out that they're master through various information channels over the past, I'd say, 15 years since Order 66. Is on a prison planet of Iron Gate, which is something that Savage World players or Savage World sci-fi players would be very familiar with, which is a prison planet. Well, they're going to go get him off, even though there's an Imperial garrison stationed there, and they're going to go in and see if they can rescue Master Blanca. So in this game, people are also going to be getting the miniature, going to be getting the books, going to be getting the conviction coin, going to be getting the dice, and a soft drink of your choice. Also at my games, people get to vote on who is the most effective player. Most effective player gets a large model that people get vote on. Last year for the Clone Trooper game, they got a uh, what is it? Yeah, they got a 30 millimeter scale ATST. Stood about that big. And for the fantasy game for A Tale of Seven Doors, they walked away with a giant. So we're gonna go ahead and give you more stuff at these games. Once again, you always get what you pay for. Now I want to make sure that you feel that you're satisfied in this. Any comments, Aaron? You had a couple of looks.
No, I was just reacting, especially to the dwarves. Like I wasn't sure where you were going with it by the title, but then when you said based on it, and I'm like, oh no, and you kept going, I'm like, yep, I know this story. You
You
are
know this story.
literally listing the plot to one of my favorite movies. So
One of the best movies ever made. Ever made.
yes,
Non-Western ending. Beautiful.
it,
Absolutely beautiful.
it is definitely the story that has affected my storytelling the most. Like I tell people, and this is on my start playing profile as well. I'm like, my major influences for storytelling are Akira Kurosawa, Clive Barker, and Jim Henson. Those are three names that never go together. And
And
but
if you
I
put something together with all three of those, it's awesome.
mhm. And the reason why is to one, Akira Kurosawa told very human stories. Um,
Hmm.
the Seven Samurai in that story, if you've never watched it, these are people who have literally been broken by life. They don't really have anything left except their weapons and them each other. And they have decided we are going to help these people because we have to. Someone has to do it. They don't care about reward. They don't care about notoriety. In fact, over the course of the movie, the reward gets smaller and smaller because they are giving it away. Because frankly, they know it's better to do. But
Yep.
every one of his heroes is someone who is doing it because it's the right thing to do. San Giorno, my favorite character of all time, he is someone who is a bastard, but he goes out of his way to help people because it's the right thing to do. So all of my stories are you have to make this choice. I am not going to force you to be a hero. I am not going to force you to be a villain. You have to make the choice. And
There you
as
go.
for the other two, Clive Barker, because if you read his books, he is a horror writer. He will write something so grotesque it will haunt you, but you will read it because of how he writes it. You can't stop. Like he will say something and you want to turn away, but you can't. You just need to read the whole thing. He
Oh,
created Hellraiser, if you don't know who he
yes,
is.
yes,
And
yes. He did.
finally, Jim Henson, because one of the biggest quotes I've always heard about him is the fact that he could take something that made absolutely no sense and everyone would just go with it.
Yes.
Not because it made sense to them, but because he sold it in such a way they're like, it has to work. So my stories are all about doing something that no matter how crazy it is, you just want to do it. I don't want you to look away no matter what's happening, and I want you to make a choice. But
I looked
Akira
in the chat.
Kurosawa, God, he has influenced every story, D&D or otherwise, that I have made
Because
just
they're
on
great
that.
stories.
Yeah.
Because Kurosawa is the goat. That's what I'm going to say. Goat. Now it's your duty to put together Seven Samurai with Muppets with a horror villain. That's it. That's it. You've got to do it now. You've got.
Sadly, I want to do something like that. But there's another movie that I really love, and I'm telling this because it's actually kind of part of a story. Um, I like to make a joke about this movie. It is called Attack the Gas Station, and it's a Korean movie from the early 2000s. It's about four criminals who attack a gas station, and then 1 or 2 weeks later they get bored and say, "Let's attack the gas station again." But due to a series of events, they are basically trapped at the gas station. And no matter what happens, more and more people come, more criminals show up, they always win. And I like to make the joke, this is a D&D story where the party has decided to take over a store, and no matter what the DM does, they cannot be dissuaded from leaving it. Just literally like four guys show up, other criminals. Just two of them beat the crud out of them. Then eight
Oh,
guys show up, and all four of them beat the crud out of them and kidnap four of them. Previously, the four that showed up, they kidnapped three of them. The next eight that showed up, they beat all them up, kidnapped four of them. Next thing you know, 20 guys show up, another 20 guys show up, and another 20 guys show up, and it's a battle royale, and they still do not lose. But I tell this because I love making this joke, and then someone goes, I dare you to run that game. I'm like, the whole game is based around these 4 criminals that literally say, no, we're not going to do that. How can I get the players to do that? Like, so a 7 Samurai game, I'm literally going to have to look at the players and go, this is the story I want to do. You're going to have to do this story.
Amen. Yes. Yes. So I want to close out with Raphael because I promised it. I wrote it up. Let's get him going. So Raphael is basically started out as the enforcer, as the aggressive turtle. He's going to get truth through intimidation. Is the best way I can explain that to you. Let's go ahead and pull up the stats for Raphael.
And while you're pulling
So
that up, I'm just going through stuff, and I just saw something, and I'm like, damn it. I used to.
Okay.
My wife gets invited to DreamHack Atlanta, but it's moved from October to this weekend. So we're not going, which I'm okay with. I just found out Trivium Studios is going to be there. If you don't know who that is, that's okay. Look up the game Anachronism. It was a historical card game. They brought it back.
Yes, I love that game.
Yeah. Like, I really want to get the new cards, and they're going to be there, but I'm like, well, another time.
Nice. So Raphael, actually, he's the oldest of the 4 brothers, and his role is normally he protects his brothers, and he also is the most aggressive of them. The weapons that Raphael was given were sais. Sais are a defensive weapon. So basically, like all the other turtles, in which the one with intellect gets a stick, the one who's impulsive gets nunchucks, and the one who's aggressive ends up with defensive weapons. Raphael, and for the color coordinated people, this is one who normally wears the red bandana. But in the beginning of this series, in the beginning of the Turtles, everyone had red bandanas. They kept
I was
this
about to
one
make
because,
that comment if you didn't make it.
oh yeah, oh yeah. So what we have here is that we have Raphael with an agility of D8, a smarts of D4, a spirit of D6, a strength of D8, which is considerable. He's the strongest of his brothers, and a vigor of D8. His derived stats is that he does have a pace of 12 yards, which is 6 inches in game, a parry of 6. But when you start adding in some of his edges, his parry can jump up to a 7 to 8. Most professionals have a D6 in fighting, so basically they have to roll very well to hit him in hand-to-hand combat. And he also has Raphael also has a toughness of 12 with an armor value of /6. So that means is that 6 of his armor value comes from his resilient shell. Now we go over his skills. All right, athletics, he is an expert. Battle skills, well, no, he wasn't the most attentive in class, but he knows what to do when a fight pops up. He's got a D4 in it. Knowledge or common knowledge, he keeps up with things, so he's got a D4 in that. Fighting, okay, he is an expert fighter. He also has not persuasion to any particular level, but he has intimidation at a professional level, which is a D6. As far as language, everybody knows a native language, so I don't know where the roll comes up, but he's got a D8. He's got an expert level in it. That's automatically given to him. His notice, he knows. He's got a D4. Persuasion, no, he's got a D4 in that, but he goes straight to intimidation. all the time when the persuasion fails. Repair. He knows how to fix things, mostly mechanical things, like he knows how to work on cars. Basically, this is the brother in the garage, with the socket wrench and the tools and the oily rags. That's him. And he has survival. He knows how to survive in the city at a D4. But he also has a D8 in stealth, which he's expert in that because he's a ninja. Okay, his hindrances. He's driven. He's driven. He's got that as a minor hindrance, and it's truth through intimidation. He's getting an answer, even if he has to break knuckles to do it. But most of the time, his brothers pull him off of that. He's loyal to his family and friends, and his major disadvantage is that he's thin-skinned. Yes, this is the one. You can taunt him if you want to, but he's coming at you. He doesn't play around with that. His edges. He is a martial artist, which gives him +1 to fighting, and he's able to have his hands add D4 damage to his D8 strength. So it's D8 plus D4 damage. Also, he has Martial Warrior, his next age. He's able to pick that up when he reaches his season level at the age of 17, in which now his fighting gets a +2 bonus, and his damage die with his fist has increased to D6. So as D8, D6, D8, D6 with his hands. He also has a trademark weapon, his size, which SAI, which gives him +1 to hit with. Also an extra +1 to his parry. And he also has two-fisted, in which he does not take a penalty for attacking with each hand with his size. His size gives him +2 to defense. He is a turtle. Here are his drawbacks to being a mutated turtle. So some of the bonuses he has for being a turtle. Once again, his shell, which gives him his +6 armor bonus. His attribute increase to vigor due to his background racial stats, and he has resistance to heat since he is a reptile. +4 bonus to resist any type of heat effects. Now, drawback, he's a reptile. He has a -8 penalty in cold situations. So don't put a reptile in a freezer or on an icy bed. It's not cool. Well, it is cool, but it's devastating for someone with turtle blood. And that's it for Raphael, who will be available to you to download on the Patreon site. And his miniature, I'll have that up, will also be available on the Patreon site with the rest of the brothers. So we're going to be doing that special in April, in which if you get all 4 of the brothers for $20, we throw in Rat Daddy Splinter for free. But that's on the Patreon site. Need you to go there. Check out our Miniature of the Month Club. And that's it for me this week. I have
wanted to say this because this is bothering me. You know that the Magic the Gathering just did a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle set?
Yes.
Did you see what they did to Raph?
No.
They took away his size. He
What?
now they had this story in the cards where he has graduated as a way. He's grown up, and as such, as Alan said, size are actually kind of a defensive weapon. They can stab, yes, but they're not really made to be a weapon. They were actually based around gardening tools and whatnot. But he now gets a weapon that was literally designed to be a defensive weapon. The Jete, which kind of looks like a sai. There's one problem, though. If you know what this weapon is, you know it's completely blunt. It's basically a police baton is what it was. Every single piece of artwork shows him stabbing things with it. Everyone's like, you're still drawing the size, but it now looks like this weapon. It's not a stabbing weapon. It's a blunt weapon.
Right.
I'm
What
like, it
the?
was a weapon designed to capture rowdy samurai in cities, to block their weapons and beat them up, not stab them.
The thing is, sides don't have pointed ends. They're tapered, but they're blunt.
Well, as you can see in the photo behind you, they always
It is
show the
not.
size as pretty pointed.
They
But
have them
yes, if
pretty
you
pointed in
actually
there.
do look at a sai, it's actually a rounded edge and not, or a rounded point, not an actual stabbing point. But they always
Correct.
show Raphael stabbing things with the sai, like eating pizza with it and whatnot. And then they literally took a weapon that isn't rounded on the end, it is strictly flat on the end, and he's stabbing things with it. Like, yeah,
Ah,
enough force, someone can get stabbed with a sai. It isn't going to be a
yes.
clean wound, but it's still going to be a stab wound. A jete, that is that is made to beat people up with, to literally club people.
The club them into submission. The
Yes.
club them into agreement.
But they still show him using it like it's a piercing weapon. I'm like,
Ah, what, what fools these mortals be. Oh well.
I love the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and I love martial arts and Japanese history. So that all those pictures they've been drawing just bother the hell out of me.
Please don't cringe every time you see a pic of Raphael on those cards.
I
Do
don't
not
play Magic the
cringe.
Gathering, so
Ah, do not cringe. But that's it. That's it for me this week. Hope that you hit that like button if you want to keep us coming up with content like this. And we hope to see you at Origins.
mm-hmm. Yeah, come check our games out. Even if you're not going to play, just come and say hello.
Say hello,
Um,
stop around.
if
As long
you
as you're not
are
picky.
if you're interested in that 40K module, you can have it. Like, my whole plan is to release it for free anyway. I just haven't released it yet because OCD perfectionist has, excuse me, has said no, you can't do that yet. You have to fix the chain weapons.
Mhm.
It's actually completely ready. I don't like how I did the chain weapons. I don't know if I'm going to change it or not.
Fix it in post. Fix it in post.
But yeah, I promised my YouTube channel that eventually I would be releasing the Google Doc, and no, I'm still gonna release it. I just haven't finished it. Which,
Awesome.
like I said, one thing just needs worked on, and I don't even know if I really want to work on that or not. It's good anyway. But yeah,
Good.
so drop a comment, and maybe you can. I'll give you the Google Doc right now, so you can take it and use it. As I said, I literally made it for anyone who doesn't want to learn a new game other than Dungeons and Dragons and wants to learn about Warhammer 40K because it actually has a lot of information in it.
Hmm. And they're releasing a a fifth edition D&D sci-fi companion. That's coming out.
Mm-hmm.
And you did this before they even announced that. Yeah.
It's
Yes. Here's the innovator right here, folks. There he is. There he is.
what
Look at
happens
him.
when I have time on my hands. Actually, no,
Ah,
I don't
yes.
have time on my hands, but I still end up doing these things.
Okay. All right. All right.
All right,
Ah,
so thank you everyone for listening, and we'll catch you later.
love to you all. Bye bye.